Okay. Okay. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everybody. Hope you can all hear me clear. Okay. Good. Last talk of the day. Um, we're going to talk a little bit about real estate management in Odoo. We did an implementation for one of our customers last year, and um, I would like to show you what we did exactly for this customer, how it worked. Let me start with a quick introduction of myself. So I'm Geert van Balen. I am working for company Dynapps. I don't have a background in real estate, to be honest. I worked 15 years in field service industry. I'm working already 10 years with Odoo, and since 2 years I'm working as project manager for Dynapps. Who is Dynapps? Dynapps is an Odoo Gold partner in Belgium and also in the Netherlands. We are at the moment the biggest implementation partner worldwide. And this is our mission. So already more than 10 years, we help our customer with digitalizing their business processes in Odoo. It's our core business. Few numbers, like I just said, we are based in Belgium, also in the Netherlands. We have done around 265 implementations in the last couple of years. We support almost 6,000 users these times. We have a turnover of 8 million, and we do this all together with 120 employees over the 2 countries. And since last year, we obtained also an ISO 27K certificate. That's a certificate about IT security, often forgotten, but so important these days. We store a lot of data in our ERP systems, confidential data, personal data. We really need to take care about that. It's an important thing. These are the offices we have, 2 in Belgium, like I said, 1 in Geel for Antwerp and Limburg, and then we have 1 office in Ghent for Oost-Vlaanderen, West-Vlaanderen, Vlaams-Brabant. And in the Netherlands, we are based in Rotterdam and in Tilburg. Okay, let's go to the real case. So, like I just told, we're talking about real estate. So our customer is a real estate company. It's a quite small company with 7 people, only active in Belgium, and it's owned by a family. So what is their core business? In fact, it's because real estate can be, there are different kinds of real estate, of course. They are focusing on industrial real estate. So on the picture you see a good example. They have a big site with 1, 2, 3 buildings, and each building has units. It can be warehouses, it can be offices. That's a typical example of what they do, and they do rental of these units, in fact. So it's a B2B business, 100%. What were the challenges for this customer? Like I just said, it's family-owned business. And the young generation is taking over from father and even grandfather. And the first thing they said when they started working in the company was, we need to do something with our administration. So it's a lot of paperwork, Excel, Word, the typical example of what happens in real life. And yeah, of course, it's not scalable. There is no automation. Yeah, reporting, if a lot of things are on paper, yeah, it's difficult to report on that. So it's yeah, it's just not ready for growth. And then an extra thing is also the accounting or the invoicing. They send every month, every quarter, every year. They send invoices to customers. It's all done manually. So it's a lot of work every month, again and again. So that was the challenge for the company. So what have we done? We have mapped the activities to Odoo. That's what you see in this slide. So it all starts, of course, with your properties, with your buildings, with your sites. You buy it or you build it. That's something that they can manage in Odoo projects, quite standard. Then next thing is registering all those buildings, all this information. That's something that we therefore we have made a custom Odoo app. I will give you more information later in the presentation about that. Then yeah, next thing is sales. Not really sales because it's rental business, but the oh, I see the screen. It's not working anymore. Yeah, okay, it's back. So sales, you have leads that need to be treated, and then hopefully they can close the deal and rent it to a customer. If a customer says yes, they need to do contract management. So they make a contract with the customer, and then the next thing is that they start the invoicing process. Contract management, therefore, we have made a custom object also in Odoo. I'll show this also later in detail. For the recurring invoicing, they use the subscriptions of Odoo. And then, yeah, it might happen that customers have issues, problems, questions, damages maybe. Therefore, they use Odoo Helpdesk at the moment. Maintenance is also done in Odoo projects. Accounting was decided to keep in the current standalone software, so we are not going to do this in the beginning in Odoo, but we will set up a link between the two. So the invoices will be triggered from Odoo, but accounting will stay in the third-party solution. And then, of course, reporting. Therefore, they will use Odoo dashboards and spreadsheets. Let's go a little bit more into the details. In this picture, you will see, in fact, a combination of existing Odoo modules that are the purple ones, and the green ones are new things that we built custom for the customer. And of course, we have created some links between the two. And in fact, what is the most important one? That's the thing here in the right upper corner. So that's we have created a new app, like I said, and there we register the sites, the buildings, and the units. So a site, that's quite clear. One site can have one or more buildings, and then one building can have one or more units. And the units are in fact the products that are rented to the customers. And those units are in fact linked to existing objects. For example, the leads. If there is a lead coming in and a customer is interested in a certain unit, then you see this also in the lead. So that's the connection we made between the two. Same for the subscription. The subscription is in fact for the recurring invoicing, but you need to know for what is this invoice. So that's again a link to the unit. And that's the same for helpdesk tickets, and maybe later on we will do other things. But that's the conceptual. That was the idea. Then another new thing was the contract. So we have subscriptions, but there are also contracts. That's also linked to that. That's a new object. Excuse me. Then I'm gonna drink a little bit water. Sorry. Okay, some screenshots. So what you see here is the start screen of Odoo. This is the real estate app that we custom made for the customer. If you click on that, you see it's possible to manage the sites, the buildings, and the units. And in this view, you see, in fact, a list view of all the sites. When you click on such a site, you see, of course, the details, address, when did they buy the site, how big is it, how many square meters is it. And here we have made a customization. So from the site, you can click to the buildings that are on this specific site. In this example, is just one building. So if you click on that smart button, you go directly to the record of that building. If you have more buildings on the site, you will first have a list view, and then you can go further to the building you want to see in details. And again, here we have specific fields added about this building. Typical thing is, for example, how high is the building, how many square meters, of course, what is the value of the property, all those kind of things, a picture, etc. And then here again, we have a link to the units. So, like I just said, a building is split up in different units. If you click on the units, you see again details about the unit. What have we added here also? Um, an overview of all the costs. So if there's a potential customer, they see what is the costs for the customer. It's a combination of the rental cost, but also insurance, etc. That's what you see here. Sorry. Then we have sales, of course. Therefore, we use Odoo CRM. And here's the customization with the link. So in the red squares, you see the link with the units. So you see perfectly in each lead in which unit is the customer interested. And that's also very interesting. If you go into the details of the lead, you see also if there are maybe other customers interested in the same building or in the same unit, sorry. So because it can cause conflicts if there are two people doing sales and they are selling the same units to the same to different customers. Yeah, that's a risk. So they should always see, okay, were there other candidates? And if somebody says yes, they need to inform the other candidates, and maybe they can propose another unit to these customers. What you also see is if you add a unit, you see also until when, if it's currently used by a customer. You see also when does the current contract stop. So you have an idea when could it become available again. So that's the sales process. Next thing is if a customer says yes, I want this unit, I want to rent it, then we need to create a customer contract. Like I just said, therefore we created a new object in Odoo, but we have added this in the app of the subscriptions. You see it here. So in this object, huurcontracten. Yeah, sorry that it's in Dutch, but it's in fact the contract with the customer. You see the list with all the contracts, and you can create, of course, new contracts. A typical thing, what you register about a contract can be, for example, what is the notice period for the customer, what is the deposit they paid, etc. And then each customer contract can have one or more subscriptions. That's what you see here. That's the link we made between the two objects. So it's possible that a customer has a contract, rents a unit, and a year later they say, okay, we don't have enough space, we want a second unit. And then they can add a second subscription linked to that existing contract. So that's the ID. This is an overview of the subscriptions, quite clear, I think. And creating a new subscription is just with this button. So it's very easy. What is the most important thing for that subscription? That you register how often does the customer need to receive an invoice, every week, every month, every quarter, every year. And of course you need to add the product, and the product is in fact the unit that the customer rents. And the result is automatic invoices that are triggered by Odoo, and those invoices will be pushed through the third-party accounting software. And then they use also Odoo Helpdesk for all the questions that enter. Can be questions about damages, like I just said. So this is an example. Customer has a problem with lightning, for example. They can also use tasks, reminders in the chatter to remind, okay, check this, or plan, for example, an intervention with an external technician, electrician. They can tag colleagues that need to fix something. And from this helpdesk ticket, they can also send communication to the customer, send updates. So it's quite standard used by the customer. And the result is that after 5 months, we were after the project kickoff, the customer could use it live. So it's quite fast, even if you know that there was a holiday period. The summer period was in those 5 months. So there we lost a little bit time because of holidays on the customer side. So it still took 5 months. It's not too much, I think. What is the result? The customer has a good overview of all the buildings, the units, they can report on it. They have a good overview of the sales, no conflicts between customers that want the same unit. Um, they have automated invoicing. I think that's the biggest step they made. Not every month doing the same thing manually. It's triggered by Odoo. And reporting will become much easier. They have decided to start with Odoo spreadsheets because in the past they worked with Excel, Odoo spreadsheets, a little bit the same concept, but you can do it with live data. So that's for them the most logical step to continue with reporting. What have we learned in this project? It was a quite small team, quite small company, and then you can go quite fast. So limit the number of your business stakeholders. It's very important for such kind of projects. Otherwise, you have too many discussions, and we as partners, it's difficult to be in those discussions. You lose a lot of time. That's important to do. What we also did is we used Odoo Studio for prototyping. Sometimes we have customers that don't have really a good idea on what are we going to customize, what are we going to do, and Odoo Studio was for us the perfect tool to show some things. It could look like this, could look like that, yeah, was appreciated by the customer. That was clear. Maybe also something completely different is in the Odoo App Store you can find a lot of third-party apps. A lot of good things, but be critical because it should meet your requirements. It should be close enough to your requirements. If you buy a third-party app and it's really overkill, don't buy it and break it again to fit to your needs. Then it's better to start from scratch or search for another app. Be critical there. So this was my presentation about real estate. If you have questions after this presentation, you can always contact me on my email, on my mobile phone. We are also here in Hall 7 and on booth G6. I will be there in the upcoming half hour, so you can perfectly ask me some questions. But of course, I have here also some Q&A prepared for you. Thank you. The budget of this implementation was around 40K, around 40K.
Do you also have an automatic indexation module?
No, but we have found a workaround for it, and one of my consultants is here, so the person that has posed this question can come to me after the presentation, and I will check it with my colleague here. So he can definitely give an answer on that, how it works.
When managing renting, are you also managing check-in and check-out using field serving in Odoo?
No, we don't use that. No. Okay, thank you very much.